Yeah.
There
Hello,
we are.
hello everyone out there in the CE image sharing group. A quick introduction. I am Tracy Cox, the admin of this group, and I have on today with me Leah Latini and Valerie Luckett. They've been on here before. Some of you have done this little session with us before, but Valerie and Leah host a 5-day Conquer Your Content boot camp to really help people kind of dial in on what they're doing with social media. And it's way more than just post a picture, post a captions kind of stuff. It really helps you dig kind of a little bit deeper. Personally, I just spent 2 days, and I think I posted it on the leader page and the community page as well, taking Rachel Perry's The Direct Sellers. It was called a Freedom Summit. And a lot of the information that was taught there was all about social selling and being social and having your socials work for you, not against you. And it's a practice and it's a skill, and it's, not just popping up a picture and expecting engagement, but how to do that. And I've taken Leah and Valerie's course a couple times, and I'm not proficient in all this stuff either. It's a learning thing, but it really does help you think. And it also gives you that dedicated time, which a lot of us don't do. And I feel that that's what's really important about even doing this for the 5 days, is that you're dialed into a time every week to jump on live with the two of you and walk through some stuff. And it just gets you thinking and it gets you focused. And I know for me too, like I have a couple other jobs that I do too, as well as One Hope. So it's like a lot of stuff going on. But I want to send it over to you two to do your introductions and share with us a little about the 5-day boot camp.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited always to be of service to you and your group, and we love having you and all the ladies join us. I'm Leah Latini, and I think really just wanted to say that the most important thing, I love what you said about having the dedicated time every day. I know all of us are running so fast. We've had multiple people every time we run a boot camp or some of our other programs just say, gosh, thanks for holding the space for me to actually focus on myself and my business, because I don't do that without it. So I think that's a big part of what makes it powerful. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Absolutely. And so, yes, thank you for having me. And I actually just got back from a 5-day retreat. And I think the one thing that came up to me was having a safe container in life in general, right? And I think that's what Leah and I do, is we provide this container for people to create their authentic content within this container, which is so beautiful with the transformation that comes from it in just a short amount of time. Like even 1 day into the boot camp, because we like to start off with your mindset. And I just got off a call with someone today, and her initial response was like, I hate social media. I'm not good at it. I have to post, but I don't want to post. I got to put on makeup. I don't want to put on makeup, right? So there's this battle always going on. I'm like, you don't have to there's no rules, right? There's no rules, but we're really good at getting people from that energy and from that mindset and from that battle into, oh my gosh, I actually enjoy doing this. I like posting. And when I post, it's fun and people are engaging with it. Okay, I can do this. Okay, I can do more of this. Right. And so it's really getting into the energy of I can versus this is such an obstacle and pain in my butt to do. So just that shift in energy, I think, makes all the difference. And then having that support system and container that actually provides you the freedom, right, that you are desiring, but sometimes we resist the container. And that's actually the thing that's really going to set you free in all of this.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. I know there was a couple questions earlier in what we had last time too, so conquering your content, I know you have an outline, and I posted the outline on here too for like the 5 different days, because you do kind of stuff every day. And I think that's a really good process too, because it's like we always talk about you can't eat the whole elephant at once. So
Yeah.
you need to like take it off in bite-sized not pizzas. Oh my
I
gosh.
love bite-sized pizzas.
Yeah.
Bite-sized pizzas too. Apparently I'm hungry. Is there, do you want to share with us just like kind of a little bit about what goes on kind of every day, just like top line it? So
Yeah, I think the first thing to remember and to know about this boot camp is that it's honestly probably unlike anything else you've seen before. And it really comes down to Valerie and I created this in order to simplify, number one. Okay, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of rules that we hear all the time about you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to post every day, you got to do reels, you got to do guides, you got to do TikTok, blah, 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 blah. And it's just kind of like a lot of chaos that we hear all the time, which can create a lot of pressure on ourselves as business owners to then become these influencers as well, right? So what we really did was create a system that helps you tap into yourself, tap into your own creativity, tap into the fun part. Like Valerie was saying, get excited to post. Don't worry about any of that other stuff. So each day is really designed to break that down into a process. Where, like Valerie said, we start on day one with the mindset and kind of like all of the beliefs that we've had in the past around social media, and kind of take stock of all of that and then help everybody flip that script to say, give myself permission to do things a new way, a way that works for me. Right. Then day two is all about connecting with yourself, your creativity, getting to know yourself, which is really weird. Most of us when you say that, right? It's like, why wouldn't I know myself? But it's like, what do I post on social media? How many have you, how many times have you felt that way? I feel that way all the time, where it's still now, like you said, it's a practice, Tracy, where you go, hey, what parts of my life do I want to share on social media? Well, we help you do that. So day two is all about you. Day three is all about your clients and who you're trying to speak to. And then day 4 and 5, we take everything we learned in the first 3 days and we put it into action and practice with each other and help give examples and things like that. Get you all set up so that you could plan an entire month by the end of the week.
Awesome. I know.
Yeah.
It's it always seems so overwhelming. But I also like in the conference that I was at, because it was based on direct sellers, which is what we do. They also talked about how you're branding yourself. And I know you kind of touch a little bit on that as well. And for us as, people who are, independent contractors with a company, how it's important for us to have our same look and feel, or a different look and feel, or, make sure that people are connecting with us as well. And I don't know if you guys want to just share any highlights of that, or just what you've perception wise too, what you see on social media for.
Yeah, I think what all of this does. So going back, I love the conversation I had today, because basically she questioned, is this for me? And I am like, okay, this is definitely for you. Because she's like, well, I need to figure out my branding colors. This is the first thing that I'm like, okay. So she wanted to know her colors and her branding and her messaging. I'm like, you don't start with that. You start with what we're going to show you in the 5 days. And from the 5 days, right, your messaging is going to come in. What kind of energy you want to showcase, right? Are you going to bring in fun with your wine, right? Or are you going to bring in adventure? Like, what's the energy that you want people to be attracted to? You're going to, through the step-by-step exploration, that's when it comes to you, when you go through that process, versus having to figure out all the things first. We actually tell you to do that later, right? People want the website, the colors, the logo, all of that. That's not necessarily your brand. Your brand is more so about, your messaging, what you stand for, right? And the energy that you want people to have, let's say when they land on your Instagram feed or when they see your post, right? They want to get that warm, fuzzy feeling of, I'm connected, right? We talk about this. And so that's what your 5 pillars that we go through, that's where people are going to feel connected to you, besides just showcasing wine the whole time, right? It's like, I want to know more about Tracy. I know that she likes wine, but what else about Tracy that I can relate to? And so that's where you just have to trust that the branding, the messaging, all that's going to come after, right? But it's really just going through the process first, and then it will all fall into place. But yeah, just trusting that.
Yeah, I think that's so important and such good insights just right there. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
totally. And I was just going to add that the funny thing is that I've been in other programs where they say things like, you know, write down your values, right? And you can say my values are fun, my values are you know, honesty or trustworthiness or whatever. You can write down all these like obtuse values, right? But how do you project that and the energy you're bringing on social media? There's a disconnect there for a lot of people. And I think that what we do in the boot camp is help you connect that.
Yeah, awesome. And we don't have any comments or anything on Facebook yet. We have some people watching, but nobody's commenting. I know, you know, too, I think people, someone asked a comment on an earlier thread that said, oh, well, how did this help you? And Alex responded and she's like, well, I've seen my engagement go up, you know, but it's not, I think to social media, I think people think that I post, someone's going to immediately buy or something from me. And that's really not how it works. So, and I know you go through that in your boot camp too, which is like really good to kind of dive a little bit deeper in that, because you're trying to get the engagement and sharing, and then the sell. And it's the, you know, being in direct sales, we have a lot of misconceptions and a lot of bad press to overcome ourselves. I guess because a lot of people, you know, have sent those blind, like, hey girl, hey, I haven't talked to you in 30 years, but you know what? I sell this little bottle of wine. Do you want it? Yeah, I see you're getting married. You want this? And it's like, you know, too. And I think that's kind of what you really kind of find out when you get to know yourself. When, you know, when you talk about that on the first couple days of your boot camp too.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious. I've gotten so many of those messages. It's not even funny. I've had whole conversations with people on the phone that I went to high school with that probably never talked to me more than 5 minutes in all of high school, but we had a 2-hour conversation on the phone, and at the end of it was a pitch. And I was like,
oh my God,
what? This is so weird. So yeah, we show you now how to not do that. But it is about your client and the people you're trying to reach. But like I said, I think for me, when Valerie and I were actually going through and doing the work to create this, this whole method, it was all about, one, how do we keep something so simple that we'll want to continue doing it? Okay. That's one huge one. Because if it's too complicated, I won't do it at all. Okay. Even if it's simple, sometimes I don't do it. So one, keep it really, really simple. Two, understanding what it takes for me to be excited about social media, right? And actually share parts of myself that I'm not shy about sharing, because it's done with purpose. You go through the boot camp exercises. By the end of it, you're like, really excited to share that I love the Beatles, for instance, right? Just random stuff. But when we do the exercise and you narrow it down into these pillars, brings a level of excitement that you can't get any other way. So it's really cool. And I think we have a couple questions too. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Laura says, what advice do you have for camera shy people or introverts? This is a good one for you, Valerie.
Camera shy people. I would say take a picture of yourself and post it.
I knew that was going to be your advice. That's why I wanted you to answer it.
So we had a client, same thing, never posted a picture of herself ever. And she's been in all these courses, right? She's a lifelong learner, doesn't want to be the face of anything. And then after, you know, we've been working with her, she now hasn't stopped posting selfies. So And basically it was us saying, just do it, right? And she did, and she listened to that, and now she got over that fear. So you have to just do the fear, right? Whatever that is, whatever that story is you're telling yourself. Like I've been shy. I was an educator. I didn't want to put myself on social media. I didn't never wanted kids to see me on social media. And then now I'm right in the online world, which is like, trust me, like gremlins and shakes and like tremendous fear. But the only way for me to be where I am today was by doing the thing, right? You got to feel the fear and do it anyways. And so just be vulnerable in the post, like, hey, just posting my first selfie. What do you think? You know, I mean, it's just starting the process, right? And it's always going to get easier with practice. And just,
Sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
No,
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say, when you do it in the context of posting within a pillar that you created during the boot camp too, right? Or a theme or a pillar, it's almost like because you have that layer of intention behind it, it becomes easier too. It doesn't, you know what I mean? You're doing it where I know a lot of people have a fear of like looking arrogant or like, look at me, I post selfies every day. But if you're doing it with intention, it takes a lot of that fear away as well, because you have something to say that's relevant. So
Yeah. And then you always want to think about, I always say your business isn't about you, right? So now you really want to think about the other person, like who needs to see this, right? I'm sure there's tons of people who are camera shy and who have a fear around being seen on social media. And so now you're taking a stand for those people,
people
just to
relate
start
to you.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else is camera shy? You know, like it can just start with simplicity, right? Keep it simple. And then you're going to find the momentum of like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I'm telling myself in my brain, because there's a story in there that's saying it's so much worse than what it is. And so
Yeah.
that's it. And, you know, we're here to help encourage your first being seen. I mean, maybe you have already, but it's just really to, you know, change that story within, maybe journal out before why, you know, why am I camera shy? And then just release that energy before you even post. So that may help as well.
I also think too that if people just do a quick little your own little social experiment, put up a picture of you know, since we're in the wine space, put up a picture of wine and then put up a picture of you with the wine. Which one's going to get more engagement? Like,
Oh,
hands down, anything I post with myself in it gets way more engagement than me just posting, unless it's a cute little shot of something like a little wine glass, but it's not, you know, it's like my own original photo. So
the only exception to that rule is if it's a dog with wine.
There you go. Grab a dog.
Dog. She's not drinking wine, and I'm not drinking wine either. This is orange soda.
Uh-huh. I love that.
You can just drink.
Friday.
Hey,
but these
5 o'clock somewhere.
go really well together. I will have you know. But I'm not opening that. But
I'm just gonna make sure we answer all the questions. So David Green says he can't make the 5-day boot camp. Is there another one that'll be repeated in the near future? Yes. We don't have an exact date yet, but the cool thing about the boot camp is if you've taken it before, you have lifetime access. Anytime we do a boot camp, you get in for free. You're already in the group and you can follow along every time we do it. So that's
And
a good
there's
thing.
they have replays for 2 weeks, or you can upgrade to having that for a lifetime. So if you can't make it, you can still watch it. And I know it's better to be live. But I believe, didn't we have one in May?
Oh, did we have one already set for May? I'm not sure.
No, so it was May 17th is what.
I think you're right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
May is so far away though. Like right now,
that's so far away.
This last year is like, wait, we can only plan for maybe like 2 months out.
I know. I'm like, it's Friday. I'm just trying to get through the weekend. But yeah, and like Valerie said too, like you can always watch the recordings for the 2 weeks or upgrade to the lifetime access. And then Chelsea asks, how long are the sessions each day? It's an hour from 12:30 to 1:30.
The first day goes a little longer normally.
Yeah.
But the rest are an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you can watch them again like that night too. So like if you miss it that during that day, I know time zones are big for everybody. So and they're on replay like you said. But there is nothing like tuning into something live if you can do it live. You don't get the same energy when it's a replay. You still get the information, but then you're like talking to your computer and no one can talk back to you because they're not there
Yeah.
anymore. But the good thing with Valerie and Leah too in that boot camp that week, they are there to answer your questions. They will go back and answer on Facebook because you're invited to a separate Facebook group. So, and then there's also that community that you can talk to each other too. And like I follow a bunch of people now and they follow me and we talk to each other. So it's like it's really interesting.
It's fun. Honestly, one of our big values is fun. And honestly, when we started working together, it was like, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, so the whole goal is to really have fun and shift that energy. Like we said, I mean, if there's one thing you can take away, we would love for you to leave the boot camp going, gosh, I have a whole new perspective on social media and what I can do with it. I'm actually excited to explore that. So I think, and join us. It's going to be a blast.
Cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
I don't know if we have any other questions. I don't know if there's anything else you ladies want to close out with or share besides just, join. It's fun. And I also think too, like I said, like I've done this a couple, I did, my first one was in December. Crazy busy time of year. I just didn't even pay attention. January, I think you did it again and I focused in on that one. And this is the third one. But it's about repetition. It's about knowing it. It's not always a one and done, which is great that if you sign up, you're still, you're able to do this and continue going on because things change in your life. Your pillars may change. So it's good to be like, oh, let's go back and have this conversation. And Valerie and Leah also, things change with social media a lot.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
being
Yeah,
in this,
and
they actually share some of those hints and tips as well.
yeah, and it's always going to be, it's never going to be exactly the same, right? So you have new people asking new questions, and we're constantly tweaking it of how we present it. So
Yep.
yeah, we're here to make it better for all of you.
Yeah. And it's honestly, as far as tangible, what you're going to get out of it too, is that our goal is also to have you have a month of content mapped out. And when you get in the boot camp, you'll understand what mapped out is. It doesn't mean created ahead of time. It means mapped out. And it means you know exactly what you're doing the next month in social media. And we help you create that map where you have some things that may be done ahead of time, but you actually are doing it where you leave space for that authentic, real time posting as well. So it's really, really cool. And I think you guys would all love it and hopefully decide to join us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for popping on today and sharing yourselves with us and sharing about the social media boot camp. And I know I'll be seeing you on Monday, and hopefully some other people will.
Hey.
Too. So it's awesome.
Yay!
Yay. So
Yay.
excited you're
Thanks
going to
for
come
having us,
back.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you are welcome.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I stopped our live stream.